Hello and welcome to the Pushing the Pace podcast. We are back like we never left. It's a it's a Monday. What's everyone doing? How's everyone doing?
Not bad, not bad, not bad. How are you doing?
How am I doing?
How are you doing? Yeah.
Okay, if we want to start with that, let's start with that. Uh, Nico Harrison just had his not closed interviews again. Exit out interviews. And also, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Tim McMahon dropped an article. I'll say probably like 9 a.m. today about the state of the Mavericks and the dwindling relationships in there. It's a shit show, but that's not what I want to focus on. One of the quotes from Nico Harrison was about the fact that yeah, I knew Luca was important to the fan base, but I didn't know quite that, you know? and I'm like, bro, I live in Ottawa, Ontario, and I know exactly what this dude means to the fan base. Like any single person, like you have people that live in Europe that knew what he means to the fan base. You like you're a GM for 3 years, and this is your one of your there's been so many quotes, there's been so many statements that are just terrible from him. He keeps mentioning, I listened to the press and it's still pretty much the same BS. Keeps mentioning the fact that, I don't feel I can get judged based on the injuries that happened to us. And this is my first question to Nico Harrison. When is this injury going to get better? Anthony Davis is going to have a fully healthy season next year, and he's going to be fully ready for a whole playoff run where he has to carry a lot defensively and offensively. Let's not forget the fact that he has an identity crisis, even though he's been in the league for 12 years now. Uh, there's no guarantee on what Kyrie is going to be next season. There's
And
no
he's going to
guarantee.
be injured for most of the season because he got injured very late.
Exactly.
So he's going to
Right.
be out for probably till
So
2026.
so I don't understand his idea. I don't know why he can't seem to grasp that you traded a 25-year-old superstar, a generational talent, and you traded it for to get into business of Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving, who are injury prone players, and that's the future you think Mavs fans can buy. And one of the last things I'll say about this, because I don't want to spend, we have more things to talk about. The Dallas Mavericks are out of the play. This is the last thing I'll say about this. I keep saying it. Nico Harrison is a coward that we've never seen it that have ever existed. I don't think we've seen this much of a coward before. Because I keep saying, if you have an issue with Luka as a GM, I said this on my Twitter. Fine him, bench him, put fines. Like, hey, you don't play defense, we're going to fine you. You don't come into put him on a weight limit. Like, hey, at the end of every month, we're going to check your weight. If you're over 240, you're getting fined. These are things you can do. And the one thing he misses is if you do this, and especially if you publicize it, you put the onus on Luka because now the fans are going to see that this is a franchise that are taking care of their superstar and know that he's important to us. And you make sure the fans know that he is on a certain requirements, just like every player that is on the team, to hit certain limits. And you challenge him as a man and as a player that, hey, you don't, hey, you're not coming into the season in shape. Okay, throughout the whole season, you must be at this weight limit, or else we fine you, and or else we publicize it. The one thing superstars like this don't want to have, especially someone like Luka, is get embarrassed in the public, especially to Dallas fans. And if, for example, if you put this limit on and for some reason he missed his weight and you publicize it, people are going to cook him, and even Dallas fans are going to be like, bro, what are you doing? There was no time in he even thought about just being like, I'm going to completely challenge this guy and be a man and confront him. There's a reason why they call hit culture and everything, because anyone that goes there knows it doesn't matter if you're Shaq, it doesn't matter if you're Wade, it doesn't matter if you're LeBron. You go in there and you know the setting requirements for being the Heat. And if you want to change the franchise, Nico Harrison set it up that way. Don't be a coward and avoid that. And if you guys see the Tim McMahon article later and you see it, it talks about all of the medical staff, the new medical staff. Apparently, one of the guys, apparently some of them don't have the right credentials, but that's just another case for another time. But to end this and all, it's just a matter of this dude should be fired, but obviously he's not going to be fired right now, and I don't know when he's going to be fired. But for billionaires, they never want to be seen as stupid or dumb, and at some point he's going to get fired because Patrick Dumont is not going to deal with the fact that people are calling him an idiot. And as I said, the last thing I'll say on this, I don't know what Adam Silver is doing. A general manager groomed another general manager, and the general manager groomed the owner, and we're just going to let the world go on like this. I know it's grown men, but this was grooming either way, and it should be a crime. But that's all I have to say about this. Let's go.
All I have to say is that they got the one. I don't know which reporter it was, but he was like, "Why shouldn't you be fired?" And he was just like, I've done a lot of great things for the Mavericks and whatnot." Anyway, very funny situation. All right, let's talk about these games. What series do you guys want to start off with first?
I think we should talk about the series that just ended last night.
Last night.
Last
It ended
night.
last night.
No, sir. It didn't end last night, but I have certain things to say about that series that I'm like,
Okay.
that are unacceptable by the Houston Rockets. Let's go.
Yeah, let's talk
Daye.
Rockets and Warriors.
Well, in case you're living under a rock, did not see the game yesterday. Keep a brief recap. Final score of the game was 95-85. Steph Curry had 31 points, shot 5 for 9 from 3, and was tandem with Jimmy Butler, who had 25, 7, and 6. Houston itself was 9 for 20, 6 for 29 from 3, had 20, shooting 20% from 3. Şengün had 26 points and 9 rebounds. Okay. Let's just get to what was my biggest issue in the game. I love him. I think he's a really good player. Jalen Green is on really thin ice. Last night he had 7 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists. He shot 3 for 15 from the field, missed all of his threes, had a true shooting percentage of 22%. And Sammy asked me, or rather asked us in the group chat, why exactly Jalen Green is like this. Throughout my experience with Jalen Green, the only thing I've ever understood is that this is a guy who needs to get to his spots. Where his spots are, not entirely sure what that is. It's really hard to watch him get going because part of the
Yeah.
issue that he does have is that it almost looks as though everything looks difficult. Like I had a conversation with somebody, same thing with Bankero. We'll get to him much down the line. But Jalen Green has this thing where if his first few shots don't fall, it's really difficult for him to get to his spots. He didn't draw any contact last night. He went to the foul line 2 times. The defense is not. He's a passable defender. He's an effort defender. He's a guy that if he locks and he engages himself, he's a decent defender. He's not a lockdown, shutdown guy. But because his scoring doesn't get going, it's really hard to see him do anything else. He had 2 assists. It was really frustrating, and Houston needs him to score in order to win this series. Like, they lost by 10 just yesterday. It's not as if we're not talking
Yeah.
about like Golden State blew them out. It was really frustrating to watch him try to score. And this was basically the story with all of Houston last night. Dylan Brooks 2 for 5. Van Vliet was 2 for 13. Tari Eason 0 for 4. Amen was not taking any threes. Of course, doesn't take any threes. Actually, only 2 players made 2 or more threes. That was Dylan Brooks with his 2 for 5, and Van Vliet, who found it necessary to shoot 13 times. We gave a lot of credentials to Houston in saying that, this was a team that was going to rebound hard. They did rebound hard. They won the rebound battle 52 to 36.
By 16.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, but they gave up a lot of turnovers. It was 16 on the night. They didn't get to the line. Even when they did, it was 11 for 20. So that's 55% from the line. And Golden State just looked like the more mature team. Once the nerves kind of settled in, because Houston came into the game and they kind of blew Golden State away from me. That first quarter was really impressive. But then the second, the third, and the fourth, it didn't look like two
Yeah.
teams that were kind of just on the same level. So I'm really worried about. I'm not worried. I'm worried in the sense that I didn't think that the scoring issue was going to be nearly as bad as it was,
Yeah.
but because it's bad. It's
Yeah.
really, really, really.
They scored 13 points in the second quarter. I mean, if we had any issues with the half court offense of the Houston Rockets, this was the game to point to and be like, these guys, they need Kevin Durant, you're a Houston Rocket. They need some offense because, like you said, Jalen Green didn't do anything. Fred took so many shots. It was literally just Şengün. He was their only offense for basically the entire game until Jabari Smith became their second double-digit scorer with like a few minutes left in the third quarter. And it was just the zone defense by the Warriors in the second quarter that was with Jimmy Butler and the bench. Curry was not out on the floor for them, but Jimmy held it down along with Pods. Draymond defensively was great. And I said this matchup, it would be between Curry and Amen. In the first quarter, Curry missed his first 3 threes. He only missed 4 shots for the rest of the game. It was not... Amen was on him, but there was too many times I saw Dylan Brooks. I saw Jalen Green on him. I saw Fred on him. I don't care. They need Amen on him permanently. But the Warriors are just too smart, and they got Curry going, getting a bunch of easy layups and getting him off screens, going to the rim, and then after that he just made ridiculous 3 after ridiculous 3.
I saw a tweet about what you just mentioned about I'm going to find that, but you can continue. I found there's a tweet I saw.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And yeah, but it was literally just like the Warriors defense was really holding them down. Like it was like, Amen, do you want to shoot a jump shot? Like, Tari, do you want to shoot a jump shot? And nobody did, and they couldn't make anything. And they only got back into this game because of their 22 offensive rebounds, which we talked about. They need to rebound the ball a lot, and they did. I mean, Steven Adams went out there. He played 20 minutes, had 12 rebounds, 6 offensive rebounds. Or I guess only 5 offensive rebounds. I think it changed. Amen had 6 offensive rebounds. Jabari Smith, who I think should have played more and was a big part of their lineup, their big lineup that they went out there that like got them back into this game. Even though they were getting a bunch of offensive rebounds, they still weren't making shots. It was still like challenging for them to shoot. Like they shot the ball 11 more times and they just couldn't score well enough. And I think in this type of series, I think they need to go away from Jalen Green. One game in, I'm out. I saw him trying to create against a Steph Curry. I saw him trying to create some space or whatever. He wasn't doing anything. They need to figure out how to get him going, get him easier shots, or just like get him to whatever spots he might have on the floor. But I really think this is a series where Şengün, Jabari, Steven Adams, these guys need to play big minutes because this big lineup is what got them back into the game. And I just don't see where Mr. Jalen Green can impact the game for them much in this series.
Someone said something. This is someone Dai doesn't like, so I'm not going to say who the person is. But the person said they're significantly more focused on playing aggressive than playing tough. Obsessed with the idea of getting into this Warriors guards that they are just allowing layup after layup on cuts and slips. There was too many times they were too focused on being in front of their guy and being too like there was no breathing room where they could actually see a cut when it's coming up. So Rockets players, Warriors players were just like, "Oh, you're trying to get into us. You don't want us to receive the ball. We're gonna backcut you. We're gonna backcut you to that." And before I continue, let me say before I talk about this player.
No.
That is Jalen Green. Let's just have it correct. You are in the 1 percentile. Listen, you are in the 1 percentile athleticism wise in the NBA. It makes no absolute sense why I see you struggle to create separation advantages. Like the fact that I'm watching every of his shots yesterday, except from 1-3 at the top of the arc where he was open. I was like, where's the space? Where's the advantage? Like you are faster. You have You have amazing reach. You can dunk everyone into the freaking. How are you not creating advantages at this stage of your career? Like at some point, we just have to be serious.
I
And
just
this
think he's not big enough. He's not big enough to like bump people off or like strong enough.
okay. So when you get the ball, go immediately. Like he's too he's too freakish of an athlete to be struggling this much
Yeah.
in terms of creating against pods against Steph Curry. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Shout out to Curry though. He was defending pretty well. Like
He was
he did not give up like that much at all.
so one of the things we said before in our analysis of this series was Houston, you have to win the rebounding battle, right? But the one thing you can do if you win the rebounding battle is the only way the Houston Rockets win this series, the only way they win this series is if you maximize every possession you have. Every possession you have, and you almost have to be greedy with the amount of possessions you have. In that second quarter to third quarter, the turnovers were just I was like the turnovers were just like the Houston Rockets, you have a terrible offense. There's no way you are giving up possessions. Like every possession that you don't shoot the ball is a crime. Is an absolute crime. And if I'm Ime Udoka, the first turnover I see in the second quarter, I'm going to eat off someone's head and freaking call a timeout because we cannot afford to give possessions away. And I don't understand why those turnovers were just up. They had when you die. I don't care the amount of turnovers you have, but when you have more turnovers than the Golden State Warriors, you have done a bad job. You have done a bad job. The Warriors had 11 turnovers. Houston had 16. In the playoffs, those 5 turnovers are problematic. Like for Houston, I'm sorry, you shouldn't be having more than 10 turnovers in this series. What you have for advantage is being able to maximize possessions. I am totally impressed with Şengün. I told everyone for a long time, like, this is a guy I can go to war with. This is someone I can go to war with. His defense is also very. I was looking, I was like, yeah, like Şengün's defense is not bad. Like this is a good enough defender. And
Yeah.
I made a tweet yesterday. I don't know how this series is going to end and when it ends and stuff like that. But it's very simple. You trade Jalen Green, you promote Jabari Smith Jr. into the starting lineup because this dude had 11 points on 3 shots yesterday. He played 25 minutes. There's no way Jabari Smith Jr. should not be shooting up to 10 times for you. There's no way Fred VanVleet is shooting 19 times. Jalen Green is shooting 15 times. Jabari Smith Jr. is someone that I think he looks like he's shy and everything, as I said. But this is someone that you can go to the trenches with. He has a good enough shot. He's a spacer on the floor for you. He's tall enough to rebound for you. I don't understand why he's not playing. So yeah, for me, it's very simple. You trade Jalen Green, you get that superstar you want to get, whoever it is, and you walk around Şengün, and that is pretty much it. But if they lose this series, it would be because they have not maximized possessions. Because for me, Steven Adams did his job. Steven Adams did his job yesterday. You get? Steven Adams did his job.
He was the only positive on the plus minus, which I know plus minus is whatever stat sometimes, but 20 minutes plus 4. He helped them come back because he was getting offensive rebounds. And I just want to say, I thank God every day that Fred VanVleet is no longer on my team. I can't watch him play. I can't watch him shoot these threes. And I know he has to, but I can't watch it, bro.
Can I give Fred VanVleet some credit yesterday? Let me give him one credit. At some point, the way the game was going, he just had to shoot those shots.
He does. Yeah. He does have to shoot. But
he just had to.
Watching it.
It was at some point I was like, "Oh, Fred is chucking," but I was like, the way the offense was going, I was like, "You have to kind of
nobody else can make it."
You kind of had to just
chuck. And that was kind of a weird thing for me just watching the game. It seemed like every other Rocket was not scared to shoot, but they didn't. There was no willingness. There wasn't that like they weren't like going to the basket. They weren't like attacking the rim and and feeling confident in the way they shot.
There were no possessions. There were no possessions from like the half of the second quarter where you could see some sort of like rhythm or flow of the offense where I was like, oh, drive, hand off, go pick and roll, kick out to the corner. There was there was really nothing like I couldn't see three possessions on a row that you could see that the Houston Rockets knew exactly what they wanted to do and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So again, yeah, if the Rockets are going to win this series, I see them winning the rebounding battle. I see them continue competing on that end, but you have to maximize the possessions you have. You cannot give Golden State the relief of getting the ball, getting every miss Golden State has, and now just losing the ball to them. And I just want to say, man, I hate and love Steph Curry. But that dude is just the most demoralizing person. Did you see the shot he hit on Jalen Green?
Yeah.
The one where he
said the
Mike
oh my God.
Allen. Mike
yeah,
Allen.
it's like geometrically impossible shot to make. That was
Like-
such a funny call.
This is Steph Curry, man. Like, I feel it's a battle of attrition with this guy. It's like at some point this dude can have 0 points, and in that last 3 minutes you're still scared to death because he will just have a flurry that you can't do anything about.
Yeah. His threes are the most demoralizing play in the sport.
There was a play right at the end of the game where the refs completely missed. I think you guys know the one I'm talking about, where I think it was Dylan Brooks. They tried to knock it off and it fell. I think it came off Jimmy's hand and they gave it Warriors ball. Steph gets the ball immediately on the inbound. Amen is like not in his jersey, but he's right on him. Puts that ball in. Amen is like, come on.
And
that's the game.
And for me, I hate the fact that Hamen did that. The worst thing you want to do to a guy like that is to show that you're frustrated. Like, it's a long series, bro.
He's so young.
Yeah.
He's so young. That's the problem.
I can't imagine trying to guard Curry like that.
I'm not even making it like it's like a criticism.
No, we know. I just think he's just young. He's just one of those things where he's.
I'm sorry, bro. If it's game one, you already like, I'm sorry, bro. You have a long way to go, bro.
Yeah.
You have a long way to go. Okay. Next thing on the docket, we need to talk about the Clippers Nuggets, bro. We need to talk about the Clippers Nuggets, bro.
What a great game,
This
bro.
is I genuinely feel every game can be like that game one. Every single game can be like that game one.
Yeah.
Like, so there's a lot of Clippers fans and all that talking about the fact that they felt the Clippers gave the game away, turnovers, blah, blah, blah. Where do we sit on what happened in game one and how the series can move forward?
I think
go ahead.
I'll just say I think that the 20 turnovers obviously was way too much. 7 turnovers by Kawhi alone. He had a few bad passes, he got the ball knocked out by Jamal Murray near the end of the game, which was kind of crazy. I think I looked at his shot chart. He made every single shot in the paint, and he missed every single shot outside of the paint except for 1 3. So obviously his turnaround fadeaway, he needs to hit those. But I just think that like the James Harden Zubac pick and roll, it was cooking. It was cooking very good in the first quarter. 15 points by Harden. The Jokic either drop or don't drop. They just couldn't stop it. And then I watched back in the second half, and they put so much pressure on Harden every single time. There was Christian Braun. Jokic was very active with his hands around. And I just think that like they really figured out the pick and roll a little bit. And like the other guys, like Norm didn't have the greatest game. Chris Dunn got a bunch of open shots. I said he needs to shoot 10,000 threes before the game today. He needs to hit those threes. But yeah, I just think that they got to figure out how else to operate with the Harden and Zubac pick and roll, because it was cooking, and I think the Denver really picked up their defensive intensity in the second half and like really put a wrench in their plans for the Clippers.
Did you guys see the Adelman, the coach of Nuggets, tell the Nuggets players during the huddle after the game, wait to let James Harden go left? And I was like, that is such a sarcastic, like they let him go left all game. I'm like, what are you guys doing? I know it's not obviously easy, but I was like, this can be the game plan. And obviously he kind of proved that, this was not the game plan. The one thing I would, Dai, go. You want to say something?
No, I think that it was for me. What the biggest issue I had was with with the Clippers in particular was that the execution past the first half was night and day. The first half, every single, and I think part of that just had to do with I thought Denver in the first half wasn't. I thought they were okay defensively. I didn't think they were anything specifically spectacular. I think it was more effort than talent, and then the talent kind of caught up in the second half. Where in the first half, it felt like every single possession, Harden was driving to the basket. I think he scored 15 points in the first quarter. He was attacking the rim. They were doing everything. Zoo would come out, set a pick, or if it was somebody else, like, Norman Powell wasn't great, but at times, he was trying to get in his offense. I thought Nick Batum hit some big shots,
Oh yeah.
particularly
Oh
at the
yeah.
end of the game as well. So it was weird to see the execution in the first half and then for it to almost fall off. I think throughout the whole third quarter, they just completely fell away, which is crazy because I'm looking at it here and the difference in scoring was that it was only a point. It felt like way more than a point at times in that game, where it was like it felt possession after possession after possession after possession. There was just this huge stretch where all Denver could do was just keep scoring and scoring. Like I can even look at it here. Denver was 17-4 from the fifth, 5:36 in the second quarter to 11:15 in the third quarter. So for that whole stretch, I remember it very well. Denver just clawed their way back, and I would really, really be worried as a Clippers fan if maybe not worried, maybe worried is the wrong word. If that happens again, I think they're going to lose the series. I don't think it's going to happen again because I think that having that kind of game, especially with Kawhi, that Elias pointed out, where he made all the shots in the paint and he missed
Yeah.
everything except a singular three. It's not
He
gonna
was
happen again.
bullying, bro. Like he attacked Jokic on a closeout, he attacked Murray, I think he attacked Braun as well. Like he was easy in the paint, and then he hit 1 3 and all his other fadeaways didn't hit. None of his other threes hit. I just think they were pressuring him quite a bit. Like I remember one in the fourth quarter when they got him all the way near like far in, almost in the backcourt. They were just pressuring him really hard. I think Westbrook as well defensively just brings. I mean, we can talk about Westbrook. We live, we die, we go up, we go down. The Nuggets lived a million lifetimes with Russ in that game because it was just
That
amazing play,
that
worst play ever. Miss a bunch of fast break layups, hit the three to give them a tie, and then that last possession, which was not entirely his fault because they got it to him very late, but he didn't shoot the shot, and then it was just like whatever. Now we're going to overtime. Yeah.
what's very simple about this. We can analyze. We can put out the whiteboard out there. This series might come down to Russell Westbrook winning 4 games for the Clippers or winning 4 games for the Nuggets or winning like he could literally win 7 games in this series for either one of those teams.
He had big plays. He had big plays for both teams.
This dude is. I don't think we've seen anyone like him ever. Like this is one of the most unique. It's so weird. Like this is not a role player. This is a legend. This is one of
Yeah.
our all-time greats.
Yeah.
This is a Hall of Famer that was going to be remembered forever. But we're living in this existence where his greatness, where when he was great, is also his absolute weakness now. But
Yeah.
I'm just like the hustle plays, just the way, the idea, and I say it sometimes. I started watching basketball because of Russ, and it was like this maniacal, like he forgets the last play. He legit forgets what just happened the last
Like a
time.
goldfish.
It's like
Yeah.
he completely forgets it, and it's good and bad because he's not demoralized in a weird way, right? His ability to still go out there and
Yeah.
make that last play he made on who did he make it on? Harden, right? Or
Yeah.
someone,
Yeah.
the inbound, and I was just like, Russ is just he's entertaining if you have no stakes in it. If you have no stakes in it, wow, what a show, bro!
Yeah.
You're going to the one thing I
You will
want to
be
say,
entertained no matter
the,
what.
the one thing I want to say about the game is for the Clippers, limit the amount of times you are going to be in this series with 2 minutes left, and you have to deal with just the Jamal Murray and Jokic pick and roll. Because I'm sorry, like it doesn't mean they're going to win every time, but that's my least. That's the least about. Like I want these guys to be on their heels throughout the whole game. If you give them a sense of the idea that, oh, we have a chance, and now you have to subject yourself to Jokic and Jamal Murray, where that pick and roll and that player generates as I said it, I don't think since I'm watching the NBA, anyone generates a better shot, not just for himself, but it's for his teammates. And when it's for himself, it's 3 feet from the rim. It's 4 feet from the rim. This is one of the greats we've ever seen. And I feel for the Clippers, when you have an advantage, you need to beat their head in. And Denver can also be a team that lets go of the rope easily. It can be a team that lets go of the rope easily. So I think their first quarter was amazing and all, but Kawhi, yeah, he missed. I don't think he didn't miss a lot of shots, but it's just the turnovers were kind of unbecoming. But if we the turnovers were unbecoming, and yeah, that's what's that dude's name? MPJ. See, listen, bro.
I didn't even see him. I watched the whole game. I didn't see him once.
I've said it. It takes a lot to be able to actually deal with that guy on the team. You know what he gives me? He's Tim Hardaway Jr. He's just light skinned.
Oh, come on.
He's Tim Hardaway
Come
Jr.
on.
He's just light skinned.
Come on.
He's a little
Listen-
taller
Come
too.
on.
Listen, he's taller.
Come on.
He's 6'9".
Come on.
Bro, he doesn't think there's any shots that is bad for him. He completely I think this idea that, and it's been said throughout the series, and you can see Nuggets media talking about it, where it's like, bro, we don't care about your feelings, bro. You either get on with this or you sit on the bench. And I think if the Nuggets are going to even think of winning this series and they do it without you, when their shooting is already bad, their shooting is not that good. If they do it without you, how are they doing it without you? It shows how much expendable you are to the team, right? So the series is going to be, I feel every single game will be like game one. Like, and it's going to be amazing to watch because Russell Westbrook is going to be Russell Westbrook. And I don't know if you guys saw that play Christian Brown had where he dived from the inbound, like almost like a wide receiver, receiving the ball.
Yep.
And I'm like, that is one of my favorite players in the league. And I don't know how this series is going to go, bro. Like, we may come back here in a couple of days and it's 2-1 Clippers. I just don't know, right?
Yeah, I can see that happening.
The last thing I just want to say before we move on, just looking again at Kawhi's box score, because this is just incredible. He took 5 second half shots. I don't think that's gonna happen again.
Mm.
Yeah.
If I was Denver,
bad.
I would be. I don't think that's like. I don't know if that was by design or they're trying to ease.
No.
Not necessarily ease him in, but that guy's not gonna shoot 5 shots in the second half ever again. So I would be worried a bit if I was Denver about that, just to keep that in mind in the back pocket.
Yeah.
He had 1 shot in the third quarter and 1 shot in the first quarter, but obviously the first quarter,
Hey.
Harden had. I just want to say about Jokic, bro. So far, they haven't been able to guard him. I watched back. They had Zubac on him. Zubac was fine, putting some pressure on him. Jokic missed some easy ones, but he made some tough shots. And every single time that Zubac wasn't in the game, they tried to double him, and it was just like, okay, pass. Like,
there were so many times where they doubled him as well. It was so annoying. I remember there was this kick he had to. I can't remember who was the shooter. They just doubled him at the top of the key, and he's just like, "Are you gonna make this easy all night?"
And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Why do people think they can catch Jokic off guard? Like you can't catch this dude off guard. And shout out to Aaron Gordon, man. What a season he's had. And I think injuries have really messed up his season. But that dude is just someone that I would want to go to war with, bro. Like, I love Aaron Gordon. The one thing I would say, James Harden drops.
Brother.
Wait. James
who
Harden
was their
drops,
best player today?
and you
He was
lose.
incredible.
And you lose.
Oh,
That-
please.
Wait.
There's a lot of nuance in this game. There's a lot of context.
We're gonna be getting to some guys who were the best.
We're
players
not
in the
on
game,
first
still
take.
lost.
Wait.
Milwaukee.
Wait. You guys don't let me land. You think I'm always going to do something. I am saying it's a bad look for the team that James Harden will give you that kind of efficient game, a 32, 11 and 6, and you lose it. I'm just saying. Because I'm just saying, it's not every time in the playoffs, this time of the year, you're going to get that from him. So that's all I'll say. We move on to...
Wait, I just want to also mention Jamal Murray, who was 7 of 20. I look back at his shots. He was wide open, or like he was like the shots that he got. were pretty good. It didn't seem like the defense was affecting him. It just felt like he was out of rhythm. But his shots were pretty decent, and then obviously he hit 2 big threes in the fourth quarter. So I think that they need to be better on him as well.
So before we move on to other series, it's time to say bye bye. It's time to say bye bye. When it's this early, but it's time to tell some people, their parents, call your family, call your wife, call your kids. We're going to Cancun. We need to just tell them bye bye now. We don't need to even revisit the series. The Grizzlies, the Celtics, sorry, the Magic.
I have
In
one
Miami.
Celtic take. I have one Celtic take I want to get off. Just one. I won't waste too much time on this because I tweeted this out a few days because I was curious. Do you guys know like Boston might just be like the greatest team of all time? Not even because like they were able to outlast Orlando, because I thought Orlando they weren't great, they were okay, but I think that game was really demoralizing despite how close the score was. Since 23-24, so basically once they got Porzingis, Boston might be the best team at like just insulating its star guys on off nights. I tweeted this out just yesterday.
Yep.
I remember this.
Yep.
25-17 when Tatum has 23 or fewer points. 24-12 when Brown has 19 or fewer points. 17-5 when Porzingis has 15 or fewer points. All were applicable in that game.
Bro,
This team is scary.
One of the things that pissed me off, man, I'm just sick and tired of seeing it. This dude, that Peyton Pritchard, that dude just comes in and
Six, man.
every single one of them just will pull up for the three and it's just going in. They require. I'm like, even my supposed tactic that I feel that will work on them. I'm like, it doesn't even matter because it doesn't even matter if they're contested. They're just pulling up for all these shots and it's going in. And I'm like, these dudes are crazy.
They take too many threes. It doesn't matter. 16 for 37, 43% against Orlando, who is the best defending three-point team in the NBA.
And I'm telling you, man, I'm sorry, man. Again, I go back to that meme. This player had 0 out of 11. He still won. Jason Tatum. People have changed the idea of what a superstar is and what we expect of them due to all the other things he does. But I'll just leave him. He's fine.
I thought he was awesome though. That's the funny thing. 14 boards, team high 23 plus minus. The shooting wasn't there, but I thought defensively he looked good. Like he was just really solid. So I don't even like him, and I'm just going to
Are we giving? If I didn't know it was Jason Tatum, I would think that would be I would think that was Bruce Brown. You know, like
that's fair. You're not even going to hear me argue with you. That's fair.
I'm just saying.
I think he was good. Besides the stat line, I actually thought he was really good. And Orlando, I would be petrified. Orlando, I would generally be petrified. They didn't get a single. They got 2 guys to get double-digit points. The best scorer after Banchero and Wagner was Jonathan Isaac, who had 7 points.
Yeah,
probably not gonna win with 7 points as your third guy.
Let's go.
Bye.
Well, this is my recap for the games. Had Thunder, Grizzlies. Marvin Bagley had 17 points. The game was on mute since halftime. I then took a nap. I slept through the entire Magic Boston game because I was like, I don't want to watch this game, and I'm glad I didn't watch it because it didn't look very fun. And then Ty Jerome is really good. That's it. That's all I have to say.
Did you guys see Josh tweet about that game?
Yes.
He was like, we're never gonna beat this.
I was like, never play that bad.
Like, is that a challenge?
Is that Trent?
Is that a challenge?
I'm like, you lost by 100 points. I expect you not to play that. Listen, we're talking too much about the same. We say bye bye to the Memphis Grizzlies. We say bye bye to the
Magic.
The Magic. Yeah. We say bye bye to the Miami.
We need
Heat.
to simulate these games.
But shout out Donovan. Not Donovan. What's his first name? The other Mitchell on the Heat. Who's on the
Davion Mitchell.
Davion was great. 18 and 9. Shot 8 for 12. He was great. He's been great since they basically traded him.
Shout out Ty Jerome. He's gonna be rich.
Shout out Ty Jerome.
Someone's gonna pay Ty Jerome the biggest contract. He's gonna play ass.
And he's gonna play.
And I love it. And I just love it for him. I just love it for him.
Oh, Zach Lowe's tweet said every time it's like, oh, that's too much Ty Jerome. Oh, I don't think Ty Jerome should be doing that. Oh, maybe he should do that. Oh, okay, maybe he's that like it's
It's a fun. He's so fun. He's
it's
so
a
fun
fun
to watch.
it's a fun experience. Let's move on.
Um,
Can we also just express our disgust at the Milwaukee Bucks?
I've been
Wonderful.
This is the game I'm most excited to talk about. I'm thinking about this game.
Really? Okay.
I'm
Jesus
really excited
Christ.
to talk about it. Okay.
Jesus Christ. What is exciting to talk about this game for?
Oh
bro?
my God, there are so many.
22 minutes.
So
Kyle Kuzma.
Firstly, before we even get into that, I wanted to debut something to you guys. Like, Lou Dort has been getting this buzz of being like the torture chamber. Like, I just throw like you throw that guy there and you're in hell. I want to introduce Nemhell. Nemhell. Because my goodness,
He's an awesome
Andrew
defender.
Nemhard is a disgustingly good defender. 17, 4, and 5, had plus 23 on the night. Every single shot he took, it felt like he was going to fall.
Did you guys see the
The shoulder thing, right?
Oh my God. Bro, he bumped Brooke Lopez like he's the same size as him. Brooke Lopez is 100 pounds bigger and like 7 inches taller than him, and he just bumped him in the paint like it was nothing.
I just love that guy because he's fearless. He doesn't give a shit. He steps up when Halliburton isn't killing it. Another thing, we're gonna get to Halliburton soon because I really want to talk about him as well. But Andrew Nemhard was great. Siakam got 25 on the night. Miles Turner shot 4 for 9. Halliburton might be the only superstar in the league that can get 10 points and still look like the best player on his team. 12 assists, 7 rebounds, team high plus. Oh no, not a team high. Siakam had plus 28. But the shooting, and I think that's the scariest thing for Milwaukee. The shooting wasn't there for Halliburton. He didn't make a 3 all night. Took 7 attempts. True shooting was at 32%. He might shoot it that bad again. But shout out to Milwaukee for just being fucking awful. This team sucks. I'm sorry. I love Giannis. Got 36 and 12 on the night. But this team sucks. This team is terrible.
Bro, I'm being very serious. Like one of the things that is really, really pissing me off. Like I keep saying it. I'm not going to act like I'm some coach. I don't have this experience these people have, right? Bro, since 2023, I've known 2022, 2023, I've known Brook Lopez shouldn't be on the floor for pivotal playoff games or clutch games. Pivotal playoff games, you should give Brook Lopez 10 minutes max. I'm sorry. The reason why people don't understand it is the moment, especially with the fact you don't have any sort of resistance on the perimeter, once Brook Lopez is in that action, your team is going into rotation. And I don't care how great your defenders are. If NBA teams can get your team in rotation, possession after possession after possession after possession after possession, you are not going to be able to hang in this league. And the Bucks are always in rotation. Always in rotation.
They can't stop anybody.
It doesn't make sense. And Brook Lopez was on the floor. Did you guys see the play where, and one of my pet peeves. I feel I should have like a hammer that can be invisible and smack players on their head when they're on the court. I'm sorry, why is Halliburton attacking Giannis off the dribble and Brook Lopez, you leave Miles Turner open in the corner? You overhelp to Giannis going with Halliburton attacking Giannis 1v1 and you go help. Overhelping and overreaction. We're going to talk about another game, another series that's happened. That was the tail of the tape too. I'm like, Brook Lopez shouldn't be on the floor. Doc Rivers, get out of here, bro. I genuinely believe I can step on that court and do and at least put players in the right positions. He came to the press conference talking about, oh, Kyle Kuzma didn't get the ball. Like, oh, who should give him the ball? Is it us? Like, I'm like, hey, I'm like, oh, okay. Kyle Kuzma had the ball. Why did Kyle Kuzma have 0 rebounds? Why did Kyle Kuzma have 0 assists? Why did Kyle Kuzma have 0 steals? Why did Kyle Kuzma have 0 blocks? Why did he play 22 minutes and stuff? Like, whose job is it to get a play for Kyle Kuzma? Is he like
We were all NBA players last night. We all were at the same level as one Mr.
Yeah,
Kyle Kuzma.
I
So,
I can't believe he recreated the Tony Snell meme with the zero stats in the
probably
Bucks
would.
jersey.
I
Yeah, in
actually
the
Probably would.
playoffs as well.
I actually
It's
Probably
got
would.
hilarious.
I actually was better than Kyle Kuzma. I got a rebound. I was in the kitchen and my spoon fell and I caught it before it touched the ground.
I
got
didn't
a
foul
rebound.
anybody yesterday.
I got a rebound.
I did.
No, like I'm sorry. Brook Lopez shouldn't see more than 5 to 10 minutes in this series. Let's just have it right here. Why is Andrew
Do you want Jericho Sims to play though?
Daye? Guess how many minutes the best perimeter defender on the Bucks played yesterday? Sorry, on Saturday. Guess how many minutes the best perimeter defender played?
25.
One.
What?
You talking about Pat Connaughton?
Andre Jackson Jr. That's
You
the
didn't even log a real minute.
Yeah, it's a 0 minutes there.
that is their best defender. That is their best defender. So I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit that he doesn't have the shooting. I don't give a shit that his offensive game is the same. You are so terrible defensively. You can't stop anyone. You have no resistance to the perimeter. Dame coming isn't going to help that. Dame coming is going to help your scoring and it's going to put pressure on the Pacers defense. Yes. But I'm sorry. Andre Jackson Jr. gets like, who are you as a coach, man? Like, I'm sorry. Doc Rivers stinks. This dude is awful. Like, I am better than him. I'm sorry, because I wouldn't make these decisions. Like, it's 2025. Brook Lopez shouldn't be on the floor. It's 2025 as a Bucks team. Andrew Jackson Jr. should be getting 25 minutes at least. You help him, you support him, you put him in the dunker spot, you do something. He should be on the court. You don't have your squad isn't good enough to decide that this dude can play. This dude stinks, man. Get him out of here. Jesus Christ.
I just want to say, like, the Pacers couldn't stop Giannis, to be honest. Like, Giannis was doing what he wanted, but I saw a trend between him, Şengün, Luka, three dudes carrying their teams on offense, each having one assist for the whole game, because the rest of their teammates couldn't do anything. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. I mean, the Pacers. This is also a series that, like, maybe we were a bit too nice. I know we were pretty much like all on Pacers in 6. It could be Pacers in 5. I don't see, unless Dame comes back. Even if he is coming back, I don't see him playing well enough. He hasn't played in a month. He's gonna be super rusty. Like, yeah, it's gonna be bad.
The only copium I can give Bucks fans is maybe Dame and Halliburton going at each other. I hate that guy too, man. Halliburton, man. You talk all this shit. Where your team is up and everything. No one has a lower floor in terms of an all-star in the league than this dude. What did he have? Three? No, Daye. On the days...
I thought he was genuinely incredible.
On the day... Oh, my God.
I genuinely thought he was incredible.
Most guys that are all-stars, even though they shoot inefficiently, they find a way to get to their numbers. No one has a lower floor.
You're not... So, like, in terms of his shooting, you're not wrong. But, like, offensively, he's like the entire offense. He's like an insanely good. He sets them up so well. The way he reads the game is insane. He's incredible in transition. The guy always has his head on the swivel. He might be. I don't want to say he's. I might say I think he might be the best playmaker in the NBA.
Every time. I think he's definitely a top 3 playmaker in the NBA, and he might be the best. But the one thing I would say is, what can I do with the fact that Andrew Nemhard, 6'3" Andrew Nemhard, is bumping Brook Lopez, that fat slob,
that is the problem.
That was so funny to see, bro. Every time he did that, I was like, okay, like. Brook Lopez, I can't believe him.
See, listen, every time I talk about the Bucks, I just get more angry and all.
I just have one other point, because I pointed this out on the last pod. 2.22 assist to turnover number, top 2 in the league. Would you guys like to know what the assist to turnover discrepancy was that game?
10-0, 10-6.
I have the stats right here.
The Bucks posted a 1.5 assist to turnover. the Pacers were at 5.6.
Jesus
So,
Christ.
and that was in terms of turnovers. I thought the Bucks were incredibly good, which is crazy to say because they only gave up
Yeah.
the ball 10 times. But the
It
assists
even
weren't there,
it
and
even
10
the Pacers
turnovers,
were there.
15
It didn't really
assists.
matter.
Yeah.
It
it
didn't
even
matter
ma-
because the Pacers had 5 turnovers
it didn't
Yeah.
matter, man.
in the
That's
whole
him.
game.
That team stinks, man. I'm sorry if I'm a GM. I'm firing Doc Rivers during the series. I'm firing Doc Rivers during the series. This dude
Has that ever happened
stinks.
before?
This
Never happened before.
I don't think
So
that's happened.
curious.
I would do it.
So curious.
I will do it. I will do it because this is unacceptable, bro. It's unacceptable what he's putting up on the court. Why is like what is all this, bro?
Doc Rivers is going to push the record from like latest in the season getting fired to in the postseason getting fired.
In the
Yeah,
postseason.
yeah. Oh, let's move on to another series. We have the Timberwolves versus the Lakers. What are our game one thoughts from that series?
I want to give a W to me. No, I didn't pick them, but you guys were talking a little bit crazy with Lakers in 5, and I just put a little bit of resistance out there. I was like, I don't know. Here we go. 21 made threes by the Wolves, a franchise playoff record. No, are they going to do that again? Of course not. But I looked at the threes that they made. A couple of them, like 3 or 4 of them, were off ant drives that the Lakers were helping hard. A couple of them were Lakers in no man's land who either were trying to help but not committing fully to the help and couldn't recover. A few of them in transition, from off the transition, the Lakers couldn't defend. And then 2 of them just came off Ant rebounding his own miss and passing out to Julius Randle and whatnot. Jaden McDaniels was amazing. I mean, 11 of 13, 25 points. This is a guy who has just grown so much offensively, and he said it himself in the press conference afterwards. If Jackson Hayes is not out there, I'm basically the tallest guy. They don't got any rim protection, and we saw that in this game because the Lakers defense have to put so much help on drives, and that had just led to Naz Reid 6 of 9 from 3, 23 points. DiVincenzo, he had that 1-3. Julius Randle didn't even have to do too much. We barely even saw Gobert out there. And you would think with they would need those big guys out there. And they just beat them with Jaden McDaniels. Ant with 22 points, 9 assists, only 1 turnover. Didn't shoot super efficiently, but played very maturely and well. And the Lakers, outside of Luka, they just looked older. They looked slower. They didn't look as athletic. They just didn't look that good. And the Wolves' defense is the exact opposite of theirs, I feel like. They got the rim protection. They got the length. They got the athletes. So, yeah, another game, Luka at 37 and 1 assist. It's just not going to cut it.
I would say, so 2 things for me. The Lakers' advantage in this series, as I said, is my belief that they will out-execute the Minnesota Timberwolves. That's my general belief. I look at every shot Ant took, and this is one of the things that is pissing me off of the amount of threes they gave up. I look at how much shots Ant took and the type of shots he took. I was perfectly fine with everything, as if I was the Lakers. I was like, "You want to take that? You can make that," but except from the threes where he got in the third quarter and stuff. I was like, almost every shot he took, I would say at least 15 of them. I was like, you want to shoot a turnaround fade away over Luka? Do that.
He made that one after he
right?
came back in the game.
He made this also a very tough 3 over Luka where he did the pointing Spider-Man stuff to him and stuff like that, right? I know. But I looked at it and I was like, this is where the Lakers screwed up, right? Okay. There are certain things that, as much as you will have a game plan, you toss the scheme mentally. You toss the scheme away. There is no world I am leaving Naz Reid on the strong side corner open for a 3. I don't care what our game plan is. I'm sticking to him. I'm pretty much in his shirt. There were 2 possessions or 3, I think I remember. You saw Julius Randle on LeBron James. And why are you as Vanderbilt helping? Like, why even thinking that LeBron cannot? And if you look at the possessions Randle had with LeBron, he had trouble. He had absolute trouble. Randall got off on the 3-point line from open kicks or rebounds and stuff. But in terms of that post-up play where he had with LeBron, he struggled. And I'm like, why is Vanderbilt helping that? Why are you Rui helping Luka, who is in front of his man? And I think this goes to not having trust that Luka can stay on his own. But Daya, what do you say in the group chat? On the day, Luka was the best defender.
Yeah.
Luka was the
How
best
bad I thought
defender.
it was.
He actually was sliding his feet and he went into a stance. And look at every Ants possession against him. He defended Ant well, right? And it doesn't mean that's going to go on through the series. But my thing is, you have to be cognizant of the shooters you have on the court. Are they going to leave Jaden McDaniels open for most of the series? More probably, likely. They're going to dare him to take those shots and everything, right? But the idea that you guys are helping over DiVincenzo, over Naz Reid, over Ant, like this is like, let's know your scouting report. Let's be serious. That's why I feel it wasn't a defensive issue in terms of, you cannot solve this. I felt it was an execution issue by the Lakers. And I'm sure JJ Redick and these guys are going to see that on film and be like, okay, this is unacceptable. The last thing is, I feel he went away from Hayes so early, like too early. He was very harsh in getting Hayes off the court. And I feel if you also look at it, Hayes is the one dude on the one of the few centers in this league that has the reach and the what's the word? Like he's fast enough to be able to stay on perimeter guys and stuff. They're gonna beat him, but there's certain things you have to concede, right? There's certain things you have to concede when you have a flawed roster, and I feel the Lakers just did not execute well. They're going to get into trouble into stopping Ant's dribble penetration and stuff because that's going to be trouble all series. But the question is, if he's making the reads right, are you going to be leaving Naz Reid open to get 5 threes? Because trust me, you leave Naz Reid open that much, this dude can have 5 threes every single game. He's the type of guy that will have 5 threes every single game if you're not careful. So you don't leave DiVincenzo open either because he can get hot too. So there were just things for me that were unacceptable. And Austin Reeves, bro, hold your head in shame, bro. That was an awful performance. It was not even the fact that he's missing shots. It's the type of shots he was taking and continuing to. He was taking like these deep threes. He was taking like the shots were just bad shots. Like his process of everything was just bad. And Dave McMahon on the Lakers asked Luka, which I don't know if you guys saw the video. Luka kind of got offended with the question where it was like, you came in to start the game, you scored like 15 points, 16 points, but no one really like touched the ball, and you had one assist. And Luka was like, he was like, yeah, I don't understand what you were asking me. Like, what should I answer to that? And I think this is the disconnect that Lakers fans and even the media is going to have is on the Mavs. That's how we generated advantages and mismatches because we are daring you to allow this dude go for 40 in a half because he can't do it, right? Like we're daring you to say, you want to go 1v1, you want to leave our guys, you want to stick to our guys. The only people that could do that were the Celtics, right? The Celtics were like, we're not letting any of these guys, especially in the corners, we're not letting any of these guys be open. We're going to guard you one-on-one with our guys, right? So for Luka, having that question was kind of annoying, but actually, I didn't see any problem with the game he had. I actually didn't see it. I think he had a good game, right? It's more LeBron. LeBron needs to go early. LeBron needs to go early. And sorry, please, I say a lot of things about Rudy Gobert. But please don't, LeBron, please don't attack Rudy Gobert on the rim. Because every of those opportunities, every time they attacked him on the rim and got blocked, it was an easy transition. And the Lakers are not the type of team yet to be able to deal with transition defense. Maximizing possessions, out executing the Timberwolves are the ways they are going to win this race. I feel they will be fine defensively. I genuinely think they will be fine defensively. They will struggle with Ant's penetration. But at this point, I'm giving up mid-ranges, fadeaways to Ant on the mid-range. If he's making these reads, which is amazing growth by him because he made all the right reads on Saturday, then you guys are in trouble. But outside of that, I really don't have too much to say about the game. I feel Randall showed some of his, as much as his numbers look good. I watched that game well, and I was like, 7 turnovers. LeBron was clamping his ass up and stuff like that. So I'm like, I think that's going to be a continual issue for this thing, and I'm scared to death for Nasrid. Like Nasrid scares me. He's one of those players that scares the the daylight of me because he's that good. He's that good to go off again. So yeah, Dye.
Alrighty. So, Sammy, you got a lot of good points there. I really do appreciate your analysis. I only got a few things to say here, so I'll get it off quickly. Uh, First point I do have is LeBron's hairline, Luca's waistline, Bronny's playing time, Wolves in six. Um,
I'm done. I'm done with this
what,
podcast for today.
what, while I don't share your optimism about the Lakers defense, not because I don't think this is not a talented defensive team, I just have really big concerns down the stretch in terms of what they were there at the end of the season. Last 5 games, they were 15th in defensive rating. Last 10, they were 18th. Last 20, they were 21st in defensive rating. So there, I do have a few concerns there because I do think that when the Luka trade happened, there was a stretch there, a little bit just before the trade happened and then through the trade, where I thought that this was probably the best team in basketball. JJ had figured out this scheme where, they went away from this really switch heavy defense, and they were more focused on ensuring that teams didn't drive to the rim. Now, teams have kind of either figured that out or they've gone away from it, besides the point. And I think that this is probably the worst possible outcome. However, despite how frustrating that loss is, I do have a few concerns that this could get worse. Number one, the Wolves got to the line 10 times in that game. That's not happening again. 10 times is crazy for a team that on the season may not have been one of the best free throw attempting teams. They were ninth in the league. They attempted, after the All-Star break, they were attempting close to 22.9 free throws per game. I don't think that's gonna happen again. Of course, I thought Ant was incredible. The scoring wasn't there. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
Maturity and the ability to understand. I thought he was incredible from a playmaking perspective. It looked as if he was.
He had one
engaged.
turnover.
He had one turnover. He was so engaged in terms of understanding the floor. I think the Lakers, in part, made it easier for him because there was a lot of overhelping. There was a lot of letting guys get to their spots. But he at the same time needs to get that same credit because he still has to put guys in that spot. The playmaking aside, he shot 48.1% true shooting. It was a really bad night from a shooting perspective. I would be surprised if that happens again. And then on the Lakers side, 13 turnovers, 15 assists is not great. They also did have the whistle on the night. 21 personal fouls for the Wolves, 10 for the Lakers. So and the number that would really scare me as a Lakers fan is that they scored 6 points on fast breaks the entire game. That team needs. I don't think they're going to be a monster in transition, but you cannot get 6 points on fast break when you're
25 fast break points for the
I don't mind on the fast break. It's just don't give Minnesota 20 something points on the fast break
that's
too.
That's what I'm saying. You can't. That disparity cannot be.
A lot of those, like 2 of them were like Mike Conley threes. One of them was an and 3. Like they were just getting there, and the Lakers could not defend.
And a lot of them was them attacking Rudy Gobert on the rim. So it's an easy transition because why are you doing that? Like why are you doing that? Why are you not dragging me off the rim? It's literally simple ABC. The one thing I would say is this is where you test the growth of a young player. And no one gets more excited when they're hot. No one gets excited more when they have the ball and they're scoring in punches. And this is where you go, the Lakers, I'm sorry, if you're going to have Hayes off the floor, you can deal with a little bit of non-shooting lineups. And this is the reason why I said that. Because when you bring Vando on and when you bring Finney-Smith on, the thinking should be, we are bringing Vando on so that we don't have to help. You get what I'm saying? We're bringing Vando on to put on and so that no one needs to overreact. And I'm sorry. And now you make Minnesota players put the ball on the floor more. And if I'm looking for a path to success, Jaden McDaniels, you want to dribble up the ball more? Good. DiVincenzo, you want to dribble, even though he's pretty good in that. Good. Nasrid, you want to do that? Like, I'm going to don't just give them, like, look at the shots they were giving Nasrid. I'm like, bro, like, this is not going to go well for you guys.
Honestly, though, I'll say with Jaden, like, he made all 3 of his threes, and then his 2 misses, I'm pretty sure I looked at them, and he like missed at the rim and got his own offensive rebound or something like that. Like he just tipped it back in. He
Yeah.
got 4 offensive rebounds. Like I'm just worried about the potential rim defense of the Lakers if Jackson Hayes is not on there. Like they're just a small team that depends too much on packing the paint.
Yeah.
And if Ant is going to get 9 assists, I mean, he can get this many assists. He could average 9 assists for the series if they're playing him like this.
Yeah.
Because he's, like you guys said, like he's maturing and realizing, like, I don't have to take these shots when I got everybody on me. I can pass it to my teammates.
And that's why I said the Lakers have to have a different strategy, right? If Ant gets 15 points in a quarter or 10 points in a quarter, no overreacting, because Ant is the kind of person that gets excited. He wants to go out there and get 40. So you get him in a groove where he feels, I'm so hot. And what has happened is every single person is not eating, right?
Yeah.
Every single person is not eating, and you're sticking to these guys. You're sticking to these guys because these guys are not going to beat you on the dribble most of the times. Like you're sticking to those guys and all. So I think there's certain. That's what I'm saying. For the Lakers, it's very simple, Daye. There's certain matchups you're going to see where I believe that the other team has just. I feel you look at most of the rosters. I feel most of these rosters have better teams, and it's not even better teams particularly. It's more versatility. The Lakers don't really have any sort of versatility now. So it means that the things you're good in, you have to like completely lock in on that. And that's why I'm like, the execution is going to win them series or games. That is the only way they are going to be able to win this way. Can obviously LeBron and Luka out-talent other talented teams? Yes. But you're not banking on that now. Like you can't bank on that now. You have to I'm sorry, it's just taking things away. You're giving Minnesota open threes. You're giving them 20 points on the fast break. You're not letting this team who is still offensively challenged actually have to execute. Then what's the point of the series? You get what I'm saying? So we'll see. We'll see. Quick thoughts. We have 5 minutes and we'll get out of here.
Well, I'll just say for the Lakers as well. I saw at post conference Ant said something about like, oh, they asked him about how it is playing in the Lakers, and it's like, oh, it's no big deal. Like the crowd was whatever. God. The Nuggets crowd was harder, and I'll say the Pacers. Who else? The Nuggets, a little bit.
The Rockets,
the Rockets, the not the Warriors. The Thunder. They had great crowds. Everybody wearing the shirt. Lakers, I didn't see any of that.
Can you please please? It's a free shed. No one gives a shit about your fit, bro. Like literally, like no one gives a fuck about your fit, bro. Wear your shirt. Like put on your shirt. On. Like Jesus Christ, like this is some capitalism nonsense, and this is some celebrity nonsense because you guys pay ridiculous prices for this ticket. That's not our fault, but you guys are completely. The Lakers fans were acting like this was a regular season game, bro. I'm like, that was an off. It was a relationship of, oh, you guys have to entertain us on the court when they forget that it's the playoffs and there's a reason why this is a home. There's a reason why this is a home advantage. You're making the home advantage, right? Yeah. And it's not for lucre and it's not for these guys to entertain you. You have to be ready and stuff. Like wear your shirt, bro. Jesus Christ. God. Yeah. Daya, I know you want to take this over because you have certain things to say. Pistons next. How did the Pistons screw this up?
Oh man, Cade Cunningham. Shout out to Cade Cunningham, who might just be like the most obvious superstar of all time. You think Halliburton's frustrating? This is the guy that actually fucking frustrates me. In the last pod that we talked about, I said that Cade Cunningham was going to do one thing and one thing only. This guy loves to shoot the ball. So the Knicks said, you know what? Shout out to you, bro. We have Josh Hart. We got OG Anunoby, and we have Mikal Bridges. You want to shoot? Sure. We'll let you do it all night. 8 for 21. He got to the line 5 times. 5 times.
Yeah.
38% field goal, 45% true shooting. This team was I think the most annoying part for me.
They played well.
Is that they played fucking. They're not gonna play this well again. They are not going to play this well again at all. It's not a fucking chance.
They had 25 points from Tobias Harris, 20 points from Beasley, 19 from Hardaway, and I watched Cade's shots again. Like, he only scored on OG twice, and he only scored like in like the third quarter against OG. Like,
That-
OG was on
that-
him.
That is pissed like it's his team.
It's just the most because he does this every fucking time. It's so annoying.
6 turnovers.
He does not
Yeah.
understand. I think it's so. We didn't get to talk about this with Bankera because Bankera is very similar in this way. These guys are young, so I understand that there is an over exuberance, particularly in your first playoff run, to want to score. However, on teams like this where you need your role guys to come into the game, you need to let those guys be part of the game. You cannot take 21 shots. I do not care if you are feeling it. And that's the worst part. He was not feeling it. The first quarter, 1 for 4. The second quarter, 2 for 6. The third quarter, 3 for 7. The fourth quarter, 2 for 4. Please. He didn't even, this thing is going to piss me off. He didn't get to the line. He got us to the line for the first time in the second half. He didn't get to the line once in the first half. Not once.
Yeah,
Not one time. Not one time.
if I'm the Pistons, just like I said for the Clippers, are you a 25 points Tobias Harris game in April in the playoffs and you lose it? Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I mean,
Like-
but the Pistons were up. They were up 98-90 in the fourth quarter with 9 minutes left, and then the Knicks went on a 21 run,
And-
21-0 run. Yeah, for
and
the
if
next
you-
5
like,
minutes.
And if you look at it, Tobias Harris did his job 8 out of 13. Tibadaway 7 out of 13. Osa Thompson 4 out of 8. Julian Duran, okay, not so much of a good game. Schroeder was defensively really, really good. Malik Beasley 6 threes off the bench. I'm sorry, these things don't come along in the playoffs, bro. Like,
That's what I'm saying. Just strip away the context. Don't say we had anything. We're not talking about anything. We're coming to this. We're talking about the series, and we're saying, hey, the Pistons. They got 25 points from Tobias Harris. They got 6 threes from Malik Beasley, and they got 19 points from Tim Hardaway Jr. You're thinking, oh shit, Pistons went into the Garden and they got game 1.
yeah.
They lost by 11.
Yeah,
They
And
lost by
the
11.
they looked very young in that fourth quarter. I mean, they had a 5-second the 5-second foul. They couldn't inbound the ball to start the quarter. They had a bunch of bad turnovers. And then the Knicks just looked better. OG had a great game, 23 points.
Cameron Payne came in.
Cameron Payne in the
Cameron
fourth
Payne
quarter
came
had
in.
11 points. Yeah.
Cameron Payne came in and scored 14 points or 16 points in 15 minutes. What the?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? Huh?
Yeah.
How many turnovers Cade had? 6
I want-
turnovers.
Five steals by OG,
I wanna-
4 steals by Cat.
And one of the things I want to tell the Pistons too is Jalen Brunson was missing most shots, but the shots were good, and that's a bad thing. The shots were all good shots. They
Yeah.
were all good shots. These were not
He
bad.
had 23 second half points. Oh my god.
62
20
points in the paint by the Knicks. I didn't see Jalen Duren do much out there.
Bro, this team needed defense, and Usar played 23 minutes. Like, come on.
bro.
Come on.
Bro, I couldn't believe what happened because at some point I was like, the Pistons had the momentum, like everything was just going right for them, and I'm like,
They were in the lead for most of the game.
then I was switching between the TV show and this game, and I was like, oh, why did they just go on a 20? It was I think 24-8 run or something like that, and I'm sorry, this is not going to cut it, bro. Like as a young team like this, bro, you gotta win that game, bro. You gotta win that game. Yeah, so I don't know if we're saying bye bye to them. Let's just give them. Give them.
We'll see how they play
They
tonight.
have to. They gotta win in MSG. They just have to.
Let's
If
give
they
them
want
one.
a chance.
Let's give them
Yeah.
one more chance. Let's give them one more chance.
Yeah.
Let's give them one more chance.
They play in 3.5 hours.
Let's
We'll
give
see
them
how
one
they
more
go.
chance.
I'm not watching that.
Yeah. So, question. So we leave. Let's leave in another 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Clippers Nuggets today. What time is that again?
In 6-ish hours.
In 6 hours, right?
I'm not.
Pretty much.
I'm not seeing that.
Pretty much what. Oh, you're not seeing that game. Definitely that game.
There's no way. There's no
This is Pistons Knicks 7:30 p.m. What is one thing you want to see from the Clippers and Nuggets game? one thing, either for any team or just the series.
I want to see another overtime game. I want to see how the Clippers figure out the pick and roll, because I thought that the Nuggets put a lot of pressure on Harden, and like they were really up defensively on him. I want to see them try to emphasize getting Kawhi some better shots. Hopefully Norman Powell gets going a little bit more. And then obviously just be more disciplined, limit the turnovers. Like there was a lot of bad turnovers. And then on the Nuggets side, like, I don't know, Jokic is going to be great again. So how do they defend that?
Yeah, I'm expecting a great series. As I said, I'm not going against Jokic. I remember I picked the Nuggets to do this in 7, and it's going to be a hard series and everything, but I genuinely just believe in this dude, man. I just think this dude is one of a kind, and it's gonna be questions if the Nuggets going up 2-0 would not really be a surprise because they have a really good home court and all. But it's just we're going to see how the series plays out. And once you get into the second game, you start seeing certain patterns and you start seeing certain things that you're going to be like, oh. So a good example is the Lakers Wolves game, right? If we see the same thing here again, you guys are not going to see me next podcast because I'm like, it's over. Like, it's over. So they're saying things that...
I'm sorry. Minnesota, the crowd there is going to be absolutely insane if they go up 2-0.
If they go up 2-0, that crowd is going to be...
I mean, they had it last year when they beat the Suns. They beat them in... Did they sweep?
They did a sweep.
Yeah, they sweeped them. Like, they were... I bet they were so hyped. So I would be...
I'm sorry. Yeah. The only advantage the Lakers... As I said, the only advantage the Lakers have is... I'm sorry. Luka Doncic and LeBron is not going to be... are not going to be moved about the crowd. Like, those guys...
Oh, yeah, of course. Those guys.
It's the Austin Reeves. It's the Rui Hachimuras. It's the Finney Smith.
Rui and Reeves both have to defend better because they were getting cooked alive by the Wolves.
Reeves got to do everything better.
He got to do everything, but he didn't do anything better.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything good that game. Anyway, guys, this was amazing. This was great. We're going to do this more and more. So this is not goodbye and all. Please follow us on social media. We're going to be live next time. We'll try to do this live next time. I'm going to figure out all that part. But follow us on social media, on Instagram, and follow each of... I'm going to put our Twitters there and all. Actually, people shouldn't be following my Twitter. That's a bad idea. I just thought about that. But yeah, this is going to be awesome. I think from game 1, the Clippers Nuggets game was obviously the highlight of it, and I feel we're going to come back here multiple times, and every single game, I don't think there was going to be a better game than the Clippers Nuggets game. So So anyway, love boys. Daye, go sleep because go sleep because it's 11 p.m. there right now. So anyway, okay. Have a good one, boys. Peace.
All right, guys.
Peace.